Hey, how y'all doing? This is Hunt 919 Truth to Sports coming to you with another segment. This is part two, obviously from part one of the ex Colorado bus update, Van Bam Bam Wells. This is the part where I cover when he transfers over to Oregon State. I apologize, I was running out of storage. It's been Hunt 919 Truth to Sports. Ride with me. So let's get into his transfer. He goes into the transfer portal, so he ends up picking Oregon State. And he goes there. Anthony Hankerson goes there, and Jill Littleton. I know I'm not saying his name wrong. All three of those guys from Colorado go there. Okay, so he goes into the season as the number one center on the depth chart. He's named to the 2024 Remington list which is for the most outstanding center. Good for him. They understand who he is. They recognize his accolades and his talent. So he goes into that preseason. Well, they ended up having a very good year, a good season as far as an offensive unit. They produced and they blocked for the 1,000 yard back with an Anthony Hankerson. They blocked for three different quarterbacks, which may have been the issue with their offense. Out of the three quarterbacks, they did total 2,400 yards. They had one quarterback who had 1,300 yards. They had one who had a little bit over 900 yards, and then they had one who had 174 yards. They only attempted 216 passes. Hankerson, who they blocked for, of course, the running back who got over 1,000 yards, he ran for 232 times. So you got 216 passing attempts, then you have 232 running attempts. That tells you a lot about their season. So anyway, they did finish 5-7. As far as an offensive unit, they only gave up 25 sacks for the year. 3 games they had 0 sacks. UNLV gave them their worst sack. They gave them 6, and Air Force gave them 5. Other than that, they had a pretty good season as far as the offensive unit. Obviously, they need to work on the quarterback position at their school, and I'm sure the defense had an issue. But as far as an offensive line, I'm sure Anthony Hankerson, ex-Colorado buff Anthony Hankerson, had a good time running behind them because he did very well. So I found him. He is at Oregon State. He's still playing. He's a junior, but he has 3 years to complete two. So he can get a graduate year in there if he gets hurt. He has a year to do that. So even though he's a junior, he has 3 years to do two. So good for him. He seems like a good kid. I looked at some of his interviews. I was impressed with him. Let's hope he plays well and see what happens in the future. It's been Hunt 919 Truth Sports. Ride with me.